Hello and welcome to YogaBugs. I'm Lisa, your virtual teacher, and today we're going to be doing the story of Roald Dahl's BFG. Put your hands up if you know that story. Great, pop your hands down. Don't worry if you don't know it, because as always we're going to do it together. But first, let's get ready for our warm-up. Okay, take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And we're going to reach up with your arms, and I want you to wave to the sun and say, "Hello, sun." And then we're going to fold forwards, keeping those legs straight if you can, and give a big wave to your toes. Hello, toes. Now bend your knees, take your hands down, and step 1 foot back. Now if that's a little bit hard, just bend that knee. Otherwise, keeping it there, and we say, beep, beep, for our road runner. Well done. Taking the other foot back and lifting up into our puppy dog. Now our puppy dog is wagging his tail, so I want you to gently bend one knee at a time. Very good. And we can have a quick sound of a dog. Woof, woof. Now bending your knees into your very happy cat. Can you give me a big smile? Brilliant. And scared cat, we arch our back. Happy cat and scared cat. Happy cat. And what about party cat? So both feet together and wag that tail at the back. Very good. Now we're going to come forwards, down to the ground, into our little baby snake. Can you hiss like a snake for me? And pushing up into your big snake. Brilliant. Now we're going to sit up, come onto our heels, take our hands by our side, and come down into a very quiet little mouse, head down. Just going to stay here for a moment as we reach back up into our happy cat, big smiles, and scared cat, happy cat, party cat, brilliant, well done. Now we're going to see if we can lift back up into our puppy dog. So take your hands forward, lifting up into your puppy dog, and gently just wagging your puppy dog tail for me. Very good. Now let's reach our foot through to our hands, back into Roadrunner, and our Roadrunner says, beep, beep. And then both feet together, and we're going to slowly come all the way back up and hands to our heart. Well done, let's try that one more time. So feet together, let's push our shoulders back and let's reach up to the air as we say hello to the sun. Hello, sun. And gently fold forwards towards your toes and we say hello, toes. Now bend the knees, take the hands down, and step the other foot back this time, if you can remember. For our Roadrunner, we say beep, beep. Now taking the other foot back, lifting up into your puppy dog and just staying nice and still as we look down at our toes. Fantastic. And what sound does our puppy dog make? Brilliant. Now bend the knees down into happy cat, big smiles. And scared cat, happy cat, party cat, brilliant, well done. And let's lower down now into our snakes, slithery, slimy snakes. And pushing up into your big snakes. Well done. Let's sit back onto our heels for a very quiet little mouse, head down, and have a nice little rest. And then we're going to come back up into our happy cats, big beautiful smiles, well done. And scared cat, happy cat, party cat, fantastic. Let's lift it back up now to our dog, taking the hands forward, turning the toes, lifting up into your puppy dog. And look down at your toes for me. Well done. And again, Bringing our foot back up through to our hands. Last road runner, here we go. Beep, beep. And both feet together. See if we can get our head down towards our knees. And slowly coming all the way back up. Hands to your heart. Well done. So our story starts with a little girl called Sophie. She lived in an orphanage. Let's bring our legs wide and arms up for our orphanage. She lived in an orphanage with other children. And one evening she was sitting in her bed and reading her book. So let's come down to sitting. Let's bring our legs into our straddle position. And let's see if we can bring our arms forward like this and lean down a little bit to read your book. Very good. So we're leaning forwards and feeling this lovely stretch. Sophie often read. She loved to read. And it started to get dark. So Sophie decided to light a candle. So bring your legs together and lie onto your back for me. Legs up into the air. And to light our candle, we lean up towards our feet with our hands and back down again. Let's try that again. We're going to do 3 of them all together. 1 and down, very good. 2 and last one, 3. And bring it back down, very good. And flicker your feet for me as the candle light flickered. And come back up to sitting. Because Sophie could hear a sound, and it sounded like a cat. Can you show me your cats? Let's come on to our hands and knees. Let's push our stomach to the ground. And give me a smile for your happy cat. Lovely. And then we're going to come back up to standing. Because Sophie heard another sound. She walked over towards her window, wondering what it could be. She leant forward and opened up the curtains, and out she saw the cat. But the cat looked very scared. Come back down into your cat for me. And going from our stomach push down, we're going to arch our back up all the way. Looking down at our knees. Hold it there for me. The cat was very scared. Come back up to standing. Because in the shadows, Sophie saw something enormous. Can you make yourself as big as possible? Let's bring our legs a little bit wide. And let's stretch our arms up really high, stretching them wide and high and making ourselves as big as we can. Sophie was so scared that she jumped. So let's bring our feet together and our arms down and a big jump. That's it. Let's try that one again after 3. 1, 2, 3. She ran back into her bed and hid underneath her covers. It was a giant. And the giant put his hand into the window and grabbed Sophie. Sitting back up slowly, he put Sophie into his pocket. And then with his giant steps, he strode away. So let's stand back up and make sure that you've got some space in front of you. I'm just going to come to the side. Bring your hands onto your hips as we get ready to do some giant steps. So we bring one foot forward, then we bend our knees to lunge down and stand back up. Then we bring the other foot forward, bend the knees to lounge down and stand back up. Very good. So we're going to do 4 of these together. as the giant left England and made all his way to the giant's country. So, 4 together. 1 step forward, bend the knees and back up. Foot forward, bend the knees and back up. 2 more. Forward, bend and up. Last one. Forward, bend and up. Good work, everyone. Now feet together. The giant had taken Sophie to a cave. So let's come down into our cave. Back down onto our hands and knees. Bringing our hands forward, turning our toes and lifting our hips up. Pushing away with our hands, head down looking at our toes to hold in our cave shape. And we'll just hold it there. And then come back down onto your hands and knees. Because next to the cave was a large rock. So let's bring our head down and arms by our side for our large rock. The giant rolled the rock over to one side, slowly sitting back up, and he took Sophie inside of the cave, where he put her out of his pocket and on to a giant table. So let's do our table together. Let's bend our knees, bring our hands behind us, and lift up into our table. So we're really squeezing our stomach, squeezing our bottom, really tensing all those muscles in our table and lowering back down. Let's try that one again. Lifting up, and let's see if we can hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done, well done. Let's sit back down. Brilliant. And we're going to stand up. Because the giant sat down on his giant chair. So for our chair, I'm going to turn to the side, but you stay where you are. We have our feet together or a little bit apart. We lift our arms up nice and high, and then we bend our knees as if we are sitting down on an invisible chair. So we don't want to squat all the way down. Just go as far as you are comfortable with and come back up. Make sure that you are pushing back and bending those knees. If it feels a little bit strong with your arms up, you can bring your hands to your heart, but we always start with our arms up first. So let's get ready for one more practice, and then we're going to hold that one as well. So lift the arms up, sit down onto our chair, keeping the arms there, or maybe bringing them to our heart if it's a little bit hard. And standing back up. Okay, do you think we can hold that one for 10 seconds? Okay, let's take a deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouth. Lift the arms up, sit down on the chair for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, well done, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and stand back up. Great work, everybody. And we'll sit down. Sophie was feeling really scared on the table. She said, please don't eat me. And the giant nearly laughed. I isn't going to eat you, he said. I is the BFG, the big friendly giant, and you must be very hungry. I am, said Sophie. She rubbed her belly. Right, said the BFG. I is going to make you a sandwich. So the BFG put a slice of bread out onto the table. Can you make your legs nice and straight for me? This is your slice of bread. He leant up into the cupboard, so we're going to bring one hand to the side and we're going to reach up into the cupboard. And he put some butter onto the bread. That's it, very good. All down, all the slice. And then he reached up to the other cupboard. So other hand this time, reaching up into your cupboard. And he took out something green and disgusting looking. This is snozcumber, he said. And he chopped it up, so big chops like this for me. That's it, big chops. He chopped up the snozcumber and then he placed the other slice of bread on top. So reach your arms up for me and gently fold forwards as we close the sandwich. That's it, well done, and sit back up. Now, the sandwich smelled disgusting, but Sophie wanted to be polite. So she leant forward and she took a nibble of the sandwich. It was awful. She swallowed it and tried to smile. But then they both heard giant thumping footsteps. Quick, hide, said the BFG, and Sophie hid inside the snozcumber sandwich. Sitting gently back up. Come up to standing for me. Because the big stomps was another giant. Let's bring our legs a little bit wide. Let's bend the knees and see if we can come down either just below the knees or to the ankles as you stomp with your giant footsteps. That's it, big stumps. This was a very mean looking giant. 2 more big stomps for me. He stomped in and he said, I can smell a human being. The BFG, standing nice and tall, looked a little bit scared. No, no, he said. And then the giant looked at the sandwich. He picked it up, so lean forwards for me. He picked up the sandwich with Sophie inside and he took a huge bite. Hum! But it was so disgusting that he spat it back out again and Sophie fell out too. So for our spitting of our sandwich, we're going to do a big star jump. So we're going to squat down and after 3, we're going to jump up into a big star jump. Okay, so we're going to do more than one, so we'll land back here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Fantastic, and again, we'll do one more. 1, 2, 3. Well done. Sophie hid, and the big, mean giant has come back down into our big giant with our stomps, stomped out of the cave. That's it. Big stomps. And stand back up for me. Oh, Sophie was so scared. The BFG gave her a huge hug. So let's bring our arms out and let's give ourselves a big hug. The BFG wanted to cheer Sophie up. Bring the arms out and one more big hug. That's it. So he decided that he was going to take her somewhere magical. Arms out. He placed her back into his pocket and he strode out of his cave. So feet together, hands on hips, and we'll do our big giant steps again. Okay, so 1 foot forward, squelch it down and back up. Other foot forward, that's it. We're going to come down and back up. We'll do 4 more. Ready? 1 foot forward, down and up, forward, down and up. 2 more, forward, down and up. Last one, forward, down and up. Very good. Now the BFG had taken Sophie to a large lake. And in the middle of that large lake was a cave. Can you show me your cave again? That's it. Let's come down onto our hands and knees. Let's bring our hands forward, turn our toes, and lift up into our cave. Well done. Make sure you're looking down at your toes, hips to the sky, pushing away with your arms. And come back down. Now the BFG and Sophie had to get into a little boat. So let's come into our boats together. Knees bent, lifting up our legs. If we completely lose our balance, we can bring our hands down, but try to balance in your boat for me. Trying to straighten our legs a little, but not letting ourselves fall out of our boat. If we do, just keep those legs a little bit bent and nice and strong. Well done. And we're going to try and hold our boat together for 10 seconds. Let's just take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Well done. And lift up into your boat. That's brilliant. And hold it there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant work, everybody. And let's bring our legs out in front of us as we row across the lake. So we bend the knee, we take the toe, we can bring the other hand down, and we can row with our legs. So the BFG took the boat through the lake to the cave. Let's swap over our legs so we don't go round in circles. That's it, brilliant. 2 more, 1 and 2. And then he told Sophie to hold on tight. Stand up for me. Because it was time for him to dive into the water. So feet together, arms up, hands together, and dive forwards into the water. We'll do that one more time. Arms up nice and high. Dive forward into the water. That's brilliant. Stand back up and show me your swimming arms. That's it. Keep going. And the other direction. So we'll go backwards. Lovely work, everybody. And soon the BFG came up into the cave. He put Sophie on the side as she looked around in amazement, as she could see so many beautiful colours and a magical looking tree. So let's bring our feet together. Let's bring our toe to the floor, heel to the ankle, and we're going to bring our branches out, but we're not going to take them all the way up. We're going to leave them out to the side slightly. And we're going to twinkle our fingers. We can keep the toe on the floor, or maybe you'd like to bring it up underneath the knee. Making sure you're keeping nice and steady as you twinkle your branches. You might want to move them a little bit into different directions. Very good, well done. Bring that foot down. Try that on the other side. Toe to the floor, heel to the ankle, branches out, get them twinkling for me, and then we can bring the foot up below the knee. That's it. This place was beautiful, peaceful, and magical. Bring your hands down and your feet down. The BFG, let's make ourselves nice and big again as our BFG, told Sophie that this was the Cave of Dreams. And this is where he caught all the lovely dreams to give to all the children in England. And he showed Sophie how to catch them. All you have to do is squat down and then jump up to catch a dream. Let's try it together and let's see how many we can catch. Squat down, jump up, catch the dreams. And again, well done. Squat down, jump up, catch the dreams. Keep going, everybody. Get as many as you can. Make sure you're jumping up nice and high, getting all the different colours of dreams. That's fantastic. One more. And let's come down to sitting. Sophie was feeling much happier. She was feeling really good and she'd had a lovely time with the BFG. But he sat down and told her some horrible news. Let's just bring our feet together, have a nice stretch while we listen to the BFG's story. He tells us that those giants that live in Giant Country are planning to go to England and gobble up all the children. Can you lean forward for me as if you're gobbling up all the children? And again, lean it forwards for me. Oh dear, said Sophie, we can't let this happen. So Sophie and the BFG came up with a plan. Bring your legs into your straddle position for me. They decided to mix up all the dreams so that they could, so we're going to do big stairs like this for me, so that they could travel to England and give the Queen, change directions, give the Queen a dream to tell her what was happening. The Queen was sure to be able to save the day. Keep mixing for me. So they got all the mixes of dreams that they needed and they prepared for their journey back over to England. So the BFG put Sophie back in his pocket, standing up for me, and he strode with his big giant steps all the way back to England. So make sure you've got some room in front of you. We know how to do these now with our big giant steps. Hands on your hips, forward, down and back. That's it. So let's just do our nice big giant steps as he travelled out of Giant's Country, back into England and over to London, to Buckingham Palace to find the Queen. So last one for me. Very good. And for our palace, we bring our legs wide, lift the arms up and bend the elbows this time. So the BFG and Sophie had made it all the way to Buckingham Palace. The BFG placed Sophie onto the windowsill and leant forwards to place the dream next to the Queen. And back up. The Queen had a terrible nightmare. A nightmare that all these giants were planning to come to England to eat the children, and that there would be a little girl sitting on her windowsill when she woke up. Bring your arms down, lie down, sleep like the Queen. When the Queen woke up, she sat up, she yawned and she stretched, and she opened up her curtain to see the little girl sitting there. Oh dear, it's true, she said. And she set to work. She set to work to call the army. Stand up for me. And big marches for your army. Big high knees. That's it, keep going. Big high knees. Well done. And the army took an aeroplane. The BFG led the way to Giant's Country. So let's get ready for our aeroplane. Let's bring our legs a little bit wide. Let's bring our arms out nice and take one foot over to the opposite. Over to the opposite foot and back up. That's it. And again, over to the opposite foot and up. Keep going for me. Brilliant work. That's fantastic. Couple more because it's a long way. And up. And the army put a net all over the giants. So we're going to lean it forwards all the way to the ground. See if you can get your legs a little bit wider as your hands come to the ground, and take your hands back through your legs as you capture all of the giants in a large net. And come back up, just scoot your feet together, slowly standing back up. The army dug a ginormous hole. So we're going to lean it forwards, bend the knees and up. Lean it forward, bend the knees and up. Keep going as they dug a ginormous hole that they were going to keep all of the giants in giant country. So none of them would ever be able to get to England and eat the children. Last one. And they threw all the giants in from the net. So ready? We're going to bring our legs wide, arms up, lean it forward as all the giants fell into the hole and they would never be able to escape. Bend the knees as you gently stand it back up and bring your feet together. The BFG had saved the day. The Queen had saved it with the army and everybody was extremely happy. They each gave each other a big hug, so arms out, big hugs all around. And the Queen invited the BFG to come and live in Buckingham Palace. How exciting! And everybody lived happily ever after. Let's sit down. Well done, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed that. And now, of course, it's time for some lovely relaxation. So let's lie down onto our back. Let's start to relax our body. Relax from our head to our toes as we close our eyes. Take a few deep breaths and let your body feel relaxed. Imagine that you are sitting by a lake and the sun is shining and the water is beautiful and still. You realize that you are not alone and that someone is beside you. You feel very comfortable with them next to you. They might be a friend, someone that you've known for a long time, maybe an older person, or even a special animal that you love. Whoever you choose leads you over a bridge to a quiet little cave and sits down and asks you to tell them about yourself. You may have a special question that you want to ask them too, and you need to listen closely to their answer. Your special friend tells you that you can return to see them at any time with any question. This is a place where you can feel safe and calm with your special friend.